A very warm welcome to you from the Jurong East Stadium, the shared home of Albirex Niigata and Tanjong Pagar United. And it's those two who will be coming up against each other in this week's edition of Friday Night Football on match day 14 in the Singapore Premier League. It's a derby and one that promises goals, with 13 of those coming in the last 3 matches between these two sides. The majority of those 13 goals, though, coming from the league leaders. So the Jaguars will be well aware of the challenge that lies ahead of them here. I'm Rish Roshan Rai, and I'll be with you through tonight's match. Thanks for joining us from wherever you are. Hope you've been enjoying the coverage of the AIA Singapore Premier League. Here's a look at the table ahead of tonight's fixture. Albirex Niigata right on top, cruising along this season. 4 points clear of the Lion City Sailors. Do have matches in hand to try and close that gap, but it's the White Swans who are looking relentless at this point of the season as they look to defend their crown by picking up what would be their 5th league title overall. Lots of football still to go though, but Albirex still unbeaten, picking up 9 wins, 4 draws this season, on their way to that total of 31 points, a tally that they'll be looking to add 3 points to as they come up against the league's 6th place side, who are a whole 21 points behind them in the standings. It's been a tough season for the Jaguars of Tanjong Pagar. Just the 2 wins for them this campaign to go along with their 4 draws and 7 defeats. So, the two clubs having contrasting seasons, one in a title race, the other looking to continue their growth and perhaps even pick up a famous win. What can we expect from tonight's contest? Let's find out from the respective coaches. Up first, Albirex Niigata's Keiji Shigetomi, followed by Tanjong Pagar United's Hasrin Jailani.
Coach, your team is still undefeated this season. How are the players feeling?
We are not concerned with that. Our aim is to get 3 points, and this is what the players work towards every day in training.
Tanjong Pagar are known to be a physical side with some big players. How do you approach this game against them?
We are expecting a tough match. However, we just play and do our best as usual.
Finally, any changes to the lineup this evening?
Players who are in good condition will play.
Coach,
Yep.
how has the vibe been at training this week ahead of the clash against the ladder leaders?
Okay, so far so good. You know, we lost a game, but the atmosphere is still good. We are still positive about that. Yeah.
It's never an easy game against Albirex. So what does your team really have to focus on tonight?
For us today, it's all about surprise. You know, we hope to surprise Albirex with our gameplay. So hopefully we can gain something from that. Yeah.
Rushaidi is back tonight. What will he add to your team?
Definitely, Rushaidi is important for the team. We do make 2 changes from the last game. He was suspended, but today he's back. But I got few injuries as well. So Rushaidi is back to strengthen the team. Yeah.
Well, Keiji Shigetomi not giving much away in his pre-match interview there. And credit as well as usual to him giving out those interviews in English. For Hasrin Jailani, looking to try and surprise the league leaders. And they do have the potential in there. They do have players who can turn a game, change a game for them, the likes of Kairo Amri, Ryo Nishiguchi in the lineup. We'll touch on that a little bit later on in more detail. But let's have a look at Albirex' last result in the league, which was a 2-1 come-from-behind win over Hougang at the Hougang Stadium. And they were really pushed by the intensity of the Cheetahs in that first half. But as the opposition tempo dropped in the second, Albirex took control of the game and showed the quality and class to go on and win it. Tezuka coming on at halftime, helping to change the game for them, allowed Taniguchi to be pushed further forward in those advanced positions. And that was really one of the keys to them breaking down that Hougang United side. Albirex, as we saw in the table earlier, unbeaten in the first 13 games for the first time since going through the whole of 2018 undefeated. And the way things are going, they could very well achieve that again. The consistency in the form and performances this season have been outstanding. And even without Kiyoshiro Sirboy, the top scorer, Albirex have still been able to find a way to score goals, win matches, and keep the challengers away. And I'm hearing as well that Sirboy, we've seen pictures recently of him rejoining Albirex Niigata's training session, so I'm hearing it could be about a month before we see him come back. Let's remember as well that the injury that he picked up was supposed to be a season-ending PCL injury. So it's a testament to the work that he's actually done off the pitch in terms of his recovery as well. to get himself back into contention potentially a lot earlier than what we expected. And the last time these two sides met, Albirex came away with a huge 6-0 win over Tanjong Pagar. 6-0 defeat to Albirex earlier in April was the Jaguars' heaviest defeat since their SPL return. Kiyashiro Seboy, we were just talking about him, scoring a hat-trick on that occasion. Perhaps him not being around will give the Jaguars some hope. There was also a goal for Taniguchi and a brace for Kuraba Kondo in that match. Now here's a stat for you, and an incredible one. In the last 18 meetings between these two sides, Albirex have only lost once to Tanjong Pagar, and that was in a League Cup match back in July. So 17 meetings in the league between these two sides, and Albirex haven't lost a single one in the league. Tanjong Pagar coming into this have kept just one clean sheet in 13 games this season. It is an area of concern for them. They do have issues on the defensive front this season. 35 goals conceded, and that's the league's second worst defense on that front. Young Lions being the worst defense in the league. They conceded, Tanjong Pagar, they conceded just 33 in 14 matches last year. So they've already got a worse record than they did last season. So here are your match officials for this one. Muhammad Taufik Tana will be your referee. He'll be assisted by Andy Tan and Chan Kwok Wai, with the fourth official being Abhirami Naidu. As the players come across for their pre-match fist bumps. Well, we're touching on the defense of Tanjong Pagar. Got to highlight the fact that they've also got the league's second worst attack with just 20 goals scored. Although looking at the table, that is just one goal of the likes of Balestier and Geylang. Respective captains there. Hashioka, Albirex Niigata, Faritz for Tanjong Pagar United. It's been a decent return to action for Tanjong Pagar United. They picked up a draw at the start of the second half of the season against the Young Lions. Then a surprise 4-1 win over high-flying Hougang United before coming crashing back down again. A 3-1 defeat to Geylang International the last time out. Here's a look at the lineups then, starting with the home side, the designated home side here tonight, Albirex Niigata. And you could probably predict what sort of starting lineup they'll be putting out and never make too many changes, always very settled. And there's only been one change from the last game against Hougang United. Takahiro Tezuka, who I mentioned, changed the game for the Japanese side coming on at halftime. He comes in to the starting lineup for Kuraba Kondo, another player who has been an incredible quality for them. He has to take his place on the bench at number 32. Otherwise, it's a very strong-looking Albirex Niigata side. Onto the lineups for the away team then. Tanjong Pagar United. Now they've made 3 changes from their last game, that 3-1 defeat to Geylang International. In come Delwinder Singh, Rujaidi and Khairul Amri. Those 3 changes being made. And you expect that Delwinder and Rujaidi will add more strength to the core of this team. Give them a little bit more stability in those central positions, or at least you would hope so. Luis Jr., Sharin Saberin and Prakash Raj are out of the starting line. Prakash Raj misses out on the matchday squad completely. Luis Jr., 8 goals this season for them, has to take his place on the bench. That's Keiji Shigetomi looking on. He's put together such an impressive looking unit as well in this Albirex Niigata side. Just the organization, fitness levels, and the tactical and technical qualities that they've showed in the league this season. There is Tanjong Pagar United's head coach, Hasrin Jailani. We heard from him in the pre-match interview. He was talking about perhaps looking to spring a surprise here against the league leaders. So let's see what they're all about, what they can produce. So almost ready for kickoff here. Just waiting for the go-ahead here, and we're off. Tanjong Pagar United playing from left to right here in those white and blue kits. Albirex Niigata playing in their Traditional all-orange kit, going from right to left on your screen, and very early on out to Nagasawa. Look to play at a quick tempo whenever they can, and that's one of the signs of these high-quality sides in leagues around the world. As an early ball comes in from Hashioka, just looking for Nicky Melvin Singh. Forced into those central striking positions, and he's done his part well for Albirex Niigata, especially in that role where he's had to hold it up in those positions. I think that replacement for Suba, as the pressure is on here on Blake Rashuto. Still looking to try and keep their composure at Tanjong Pagar as they play out from that press. It's Albirex who pick up the second ball. Makes its way all the way into Zafan. Linking up with Shaki Hamza here. They'll be looking for a much better link up than they had the last time those two were on the pitch together. Big miscommunication between the two, leading to quite an incredible own goal, really. Against Geylang International, giving the Eagles a gift in that one. So we see Koga with his playmaking once again, pushing up into those midfield positions and driving a pass out wide into Ong Yuen. Eventually cleared up by Delwinder Singh, who's played a really good ball into Nishiguchi. If he can keep it in play. Flag has gone up. It's interesting that Koga here as well, because of the way Tanjong Pagar are setting up, just sitting back a little bit more. It's always that invitation for Koga to push on into positions further up the pitch. We actually saw Hougang in the last game look to try and put Koga under pressure, which was really good to see. I think that perhaps the Cheetahs were the first team this season to really put Albrex's goalkeeper under pressure when they had possession of the ball. Such an important part of their build-up play. It's because of his ability to distribute, as we saw there. Safan's distribution under pressure, not quite as good. The referee is blowing for a foul there on Hanaki. Such an important player for them, the number 10 there, Yusuke Nagasawa. Keep a keen eye on him, and you can see exactly why Tanjong Pagar had two players onto him straight away the moment he got the ball out in that wide position. It's a long ball played over the top, something for Kunimoto to deal with. Though it is Anaki who actually gets to the ball ahead of him. Can't quite make the most of that. Koga gets things going again. The ball into Tezuka. Spotted that early run from Nagasawa. Spotted well by Faritz as well, who read the danger to come across. Yamashita. Out into Hashioka. Big outlet for them down their right-hand side. Hashioka, here he is in an advanced position. Flag's gone up for offside. So just have a look at the rotations in there. Ong Yuen as he drifts infield. Let's add bodies in those central positions. You will see Hashioka stretching the opposition out wide, looking to hug the touchline. Big part of their attacking play. Hashioka. Yutokiwa. That throw in into Kunimoto. Tezuka adds that composure in central midfield for Albirex, doesn't he? Just takes a bit of contact on that occasion. It's another one they'll be looking to try and close down in those central positions. And try to limit Albirex in their possession game if they can. Once you start to see them get into that rhythm, it usually spells trouble for you. Especially if Tezuka and Chiku are allowed to run the game from central midfield. Hashioka with space to deliver into the box. Headed back calmly by Rujaidi. Shake. Just playing in the middle of that back three there, Shake Hamza. Ball's given away. Ong Yuen is able to get it back into Nagasawa eventually. It's crowded out. It's good recovery by the Jaguars just to make sure they had numbers and bodies back in there. Chance for them to get forward here with Fatula. Tokiwa quicker to the ball on that occasion. Taniguchi is where he does his best work, just dropping off that forward line, playing in behind that central striker. Number 7 was in great form in that last game against Hougang. It's a sweeping pass played out to Tokiwa, puts in quality into the box. Again, just Shake Hamza on that occasion, reading the danger early, coming across. Have a look at just how they play this one through the lines. Switch of play from Chiku out to Tokiwa on this left-hand side. Really good idea by the left back. Options in the box. We've got Yamashita just standing in acres of space here, looking to make a late run towards the back post. If they can find him, it's delivered towards the near post though. Now 4 assists for Kazuki Hashioka this season. As I said, it's always looking to create opportunities from down that right-hand side, driving in behind opposition defenses. You can see just how important their fullbacks are as well, even with Tokiwa down this left-hand side. Just as they draw you in with their possession-based game. We're looking for those switches towards the flanks as flag goes up on Khairul Amri's attempted run in behind that Albirex defense. Tokiwa. Tezuka. Moving the ball forward quickly from left to right here. Once again, it's Hashioka linking up with Yuan. This occasion, he was just looking to play in that underlapping run that Hashioka had made. Good challenge on Ishikawa, but it's come back out to Tokiwa. And they're quick to get bodies around. Not quick enough as it falls to Nikki Singh. And Jaguars being forced to play at a very quick tempo here on the defensive front. Albirex slowly but surely getting into their rhythm, moving the ball around very quickly. Just Taniguchi being able to earn his side a corner there. 6 assists for the number 7 this season. His second season with Albirex Niigata. Nagasawa, the number 10, another one who's into his second season with the White Swans. Was played in towards the back post on this occasion, finding Yamashita there. That was the run he made on the first corner. This time around, they were able to find him. And that's an excellent challenge from Nagasawa as he comes sliding across on that Jaguars counter-attack. If you just have a look at the transition of Albirex Niigata as well, the way they're able to just move so quickly. In both those phases of the game, when they win it, getting forward on the counters, getting numbers, getting bodies into attacking positions very quickly. And it's the same on the defensive front as well. They work so hard to get bodies and numbers back. And both players having to go for that, really. Eventually, it's Kunimoto that ends up winning the free kick off Anaki. Scored recently against Hougang United, Anaki Ismit. And Koga just needing to be closed down there by Khairul Amri, but he's able to get it away. Dalwinder Singh on the ball with the throw-in, playing on the left side of that back three. Chiku, just a bit of time on the ball, waiting for options to arrive for him. Eventually finds one with Ong Yuen dropping deeper just to show for it. And there's a big switch once again. That's a delightful ball out onto this left-hand side. If he can keep it into Kiwa. Unfortunately for him, couldn't quite get it under control. Rajadi doing well to put him under pressure. A big switch once again from Yamashita on this occasion. Rajadi just looking for Amri to provide an angle for that pass to keep it under pressure. Naki dropping shot. Nice movement on these throw-ins here. There's an extra ball on the pitch as well. That's why the referees stopped the restart. It's gone off. We're back underway. Now it's Tanjong Pagar's turn to look for that big switch, that diagonal across. Couldn't make its way into Nishiguchi. Eventually it finds him. Coming into this game, Ryo Nishiguchi with 42 successful dribbles in the Singapore Premier League this season. That's a league high, by the way. Oh, it's a beautiful pass played through the legs of Blake Rashuto by Nagasawa. Looking for the give and go. Ong Yuen driving forward, looking to commit a defender. Hashioka gets his cross blocked out by Dalwinder. Again, in those counter-attacking moments, just have a look at how quickly they get the ball forward. And those supporting runs as well, the intensity that they play at. And just that ability to go through the gears very quickly. It's something that sets them apart from the other sides in the league. It's looking like it's going to be Tezuka on set-piece duty for Albirex tonight. Kosuke Chiku, the other option for them. They want to vary things up. But Chiku's looking to make a nuisance of himself in the box. So look at the variation on their set-piece routines. Yamashita again unmarked, making the run into the 6-yard box. Comes to Taniguchi. You can't get over the ball to get it on target. That delivery into a really good area, an important flick away by Farid Hamid. It did fall to Taniguchi, just couldn't quite get the technique right on that. Couldn't quite get over the ball just to drive it back towards goal. Nishikawa into his second season with Tanjong Pagar United. Shodai Nishikawa. Change of positions in the meantime for Ryo Nishiguchi, who plays a delightful ball out to number 7 Rushaidi in space, linking up with Anaki. Back to Rushaidi. Nishiguchi with space, just to have a shot at goal. Momentarily thought it had opened up for him before Kosuke Chiku came rushing in to block that shot from Ryo Nishiguchi. First real attack we've seen from Tanjong Pagar United. The opening 15 minutes of this match. Well, that attempted diagonal just making its way through to Koga. And that switch for Tanjong Pagar is always on. If they can find those moments where they just draw Albirex Niigata to one side of the pitch. We know Nishiguchi especially, just as he drops off in there, always difficult for defenders. Because you're wondering then, how far up the pitch do you follow that attacking player? You got to pass him on to your midfielders, and that has to be communicated very quickly. The midfielders have got their own players to keep up with, to mark up on, to close down on, so you can at times create that extra man in certain positions. Talking about big switches, that's another delightful one. Played by Kunimoto. Into UN, back to Hashioka. Chiku with space on the ball. He's getting in on the diagonal party. Yutokiwa, one-on-one, skips past the challenge. Well, the window had a little bit of time there. It's facing the wrong way, perhaps they didn't want to take any chances, just heads it away. Safety first, but it's another corner for Albirex. Switches going from left to right, right to left. Lovely bit of skill. Just have a look at this one from Yutokiwa. Through the legs of Rujaidi. Already 4 corners to nothing for the league leaders. 6 players in the box to hit. Comfortable one for Zafan. This is the referee blows for a free kick there. There was a bit of an infringement that he had spotted as the ball came into the box. But very much a case here of Albirex Niigata looking to just play in their tempo, the usual tempo. Tanjong Pagar having to just try and deal with that at the moment, being forced to play an intensity that they perhaps don't really want to be playing at. A lot of running off the ball that they're being made to do, lots of chasing, but it's chasing that could work out. As it comes out to Kairo Lamri. Smashed away by Yamashita. That turned for a bit of panic in the Albirex Niigata defensive ranks. As Anaki worked incredibly hard to go and close down Koga, not giving him an easy out ball. We just saw Nagasawa in that 1-2. Here's a look again at Anaki as he comes across to block that clearance from Koga. Falls into the feet of Kairo Lamri. We just thought for the moment it wouldn't sit down for him quick enough. Will it, that ball? Just wanted it to settle before hitting it, but it gave Albirex a bit of an opportunity then to get numbers around there, close the shot down. In the end, danger was averted. Put into a dangerous position in the box. Always tricky for goalkeepers to deal with that potentially. It's got players running across your line of sight. Credit to Zafan, who's kept his focus, kept his eye on the ball as it's made its way through. Making his 6th appearance for the season, the Tanjong Pagar United goalkeeper. He's conceded 10 goals already this season, 24 years of age, a former National Football Academy and Young Lions player. Almost a tricky moment again for Koga as Anaki is working his socks off here in this first half. Always looking to be an outlet for them. Working hard off the ball as well. Let's see if they can try and maintain their intensity levels, which is something that we've seen teams struggle to do as the game has gone on. Faritz is coming across to put that out of play. Faritz Hamid, 31 years of age, now an experienced campaigner, captaining the side. 29 caps for Singapore. Kunimoto with Yamashita for support. Can he keep it in play, Tokiwa? Yes, he can. It's really good work by the left fullback to keep that one alive for Albirex Niigata. Look for the moment like the pace on that long ball is just a little bit too much, but they've run out of real estate a little bit. But he did well to just look to try and set up an opportunity for his side eventually. Tanjong Pagar looking to try and play themselves out of a little bit of pressure here. Need to just switch the angle of play, which they eventually do. As Rujaidi plays it across to Shake Hamza and it finds its way into Delwinder. It's good closing down in midfield by Albirex. I thought initially the referee might have blown the whistle for a foul on Nicky Melvin Singh. Instead, he's given it the other way. It's a foul by Nicky Melvin Singh on Shake Hamza. He's looking pretty steady in the center of that back three. So setup that they've got as well with Rushaidi being that right wing back out on this side. They can stretch out that back three in possession. Rishuto and Fatullah just sitting in those midfield positions just in front of them, looking to try and dictate the play and the tempo, trying to be those link players in those central midfield areas if they can. They haven't had too many opportunities, just due to the pressure that the Albirex have put them under so far in this first half. But that's a nice bit of play once again. Rojaidi into Anaki. Bit of a heavy touch. Gives Albirex an opportunity to clear the lines. Faritz. Rojaidi. It's in these moments that he just needs that option to arrive for him. One in those central areas as well, but he does well just to get it out wide into Anaki. Forming a decent understanding, these two, the 7 and the 12 down this right-hand side. It's a strong challenge by Fatullah. He's gone studs up in there on Taniguchi. Referee sees nothing wrong with that. Says play on, and on they go, Tanjong Pagar. Tezuka. Fatullah just closing him down, forcing the ball back into Tokiwa. But they're able to get out from that pressure. Again, there's space for Taniguchi to turn. Play that pass in behind the defense. He's looking for Nagasawa. Well defended by Tanjong Pagar. He's dropping off early to read that danger. Now Shake does have that pace about him in that back line. As long as he reads it early enough, he's going to get there ahead of the attacker. Shake just chooses to go along here. He's looking for Amri. He's really needed to be into his feet, I think. It's far too much on that long pass forward. Tezuka gives it into Tokiwa, who finds Taniguchi. He's got space to push into. Nicky Melvin Singh at the back post. Can't find him with that cross on this occasion. And Taniguchi looking very lively in those positions in behind Tanjong Pagar United's midfield. Just drifting between the lines. That's where he's at his best. Faritz again. Just into the option on his right-hand side, but they get closed down so well by Albirex Niigata on this occasion as Taniguchi skips past that challenge of Farid Hamid. Do have numbers in the box again. Chose to go out to Tezuka. Into Hashioka. Has support from UN. Chooses to drive into the box on his own. Beats his man. It's picked up by Zafan Rohaizad at the near post, and then again on the rebound attempt by Nicky Singh. Straight into the arms of the goalkeeper. Wonderful pace and power demonstrated by Hashioka, and he decides on this occasion, instead of cutting it back, to have a go at goal himself. Amri. Nishiguchi. Just looking for that run in behind of Blake Rashuto. Just a bit too much on that ball. Just for the moment, just slowing it down a little bit, Albirex, until they get themselves into the right sort of positions that they want to be set up in those phases of possession, as Hashioka just pops up again in a little bit of space. And looking for that run of Nicky Singh, comfortably held by Zafan in goal. Prosciutto. Nice pass through the lines for Amri. You can't quite find a run of Shodai Nishikawa. Just changed positions with Nishiguchi for the moment there. Tezuka. Chiku. Two of them, number 3 and number 8, should have a pretty good understanding coming from the same university, Tsukuba University. Last team they played for before coming over to Albirex Niigata, and Tezuka plays another ball over the top into Tokiwa. Takes his man on again. Shot just getting blocked out, but it's Albirex still in possession of the ball. Gonna switch out to Ong Yuen on this occasion. He's up against Shodai Nishikawa. Gets support in the form of Chiku. And these switches are shifting that Jaguars defense left and right. So they shift across very well. Tanjong Pagar United, who have had defensive issues this season, the second worst defense in the league. Those 35 goals conceded this campaign. But so far, this is a defense that has held up against the league leaders who have been in impressive form this season. So we head towards our first water break here. It's been Albirex Niigata, the league leaders, with the majority of the opportunities, majority of the play. On possession. They get Taniguchi in between the lines and making good use of those diagonal switches out to either Hashioka or Tokiwa on that left-hand side. And for the most part, Tanjong Pagar United have had to play on the counter-attack. There's been a decent bit of understanding between Ruzaidi and Nanaki down this right-hand side for the Jaguars. Here's a look at some of the action that we've had in this first half so far. Free kick that's coming all the way across, held well by Zafan, and then here again, second opportunity on the rebound there for Nikki Singh. Held gratefully by Zarfan. I'm just looking to organize a few things here, especially on that right-hand side. You just see out of your picture. I'm just seeing Ong Yuen getting a bit of advice from Hashioka of positions he wants him to take up when they are in possession of the ball, Albirex. Chiku talking to the young man as well. Let's remember Ong Yuen has got 3 assists for them this season, 17 years of age, but at times he's played with such maturity. Nishiguchi is dropping very deep, almost into that left back position. Trying to get himself involved so he can run the game for Tanjong Pagar as a free kick is given to the Jaguars there for a foul on Blake Prosciutto. Shuta Yamashita. Sorry, Shuya Yamashita. Just going through the back of Blake Prosciutto there. Prosciutto, champion with DPMM back in 2019. Made the SPL Team of the Year that season. Now makes his way into the box, like Prosciutto, along with Shake. Got Ryo Nishiguchi in there as well. Kairo Lamri just in between Kunimoto and Chiku. Needs a good delivery to come in. Flicked on by Amri, but pushed away by Koga as the flag goes up for offside. A bit of an anticlimax there then. A call for a good delivery and a really good one came in. It's flicked on, redirected towards goal by Kairo Lamri. I get gone up for offside though. I'm just hearing the Tanjong Pagar United bench looking to get some clarity on that offside decision from the assistant referee on this near side. Chiku picks it up with a bit of space to work with, gets support from Yamashita. Hashioka into UN. Very patient in these moments, just waiting for those right opportunities to ping those switches out wide. And Hashioka is looking right across the line, and it's poor for Hashioka there to be caught in an offside position. Again, just that, yeah, he's looking right across the line, isn't he? Just lacking concentration for the moment. Hashioka there, drifting into an offside position, and then as the ball's played into him, judged to have been gaining an advantage from being in that offside position. Okay, another example of just Albirex' style in terms of those big switches out into those wider areas, controlling possession in the center of the park before they make those switches. And surely Nicky Singh was just coming back from an offside position there. So he put Shaki Hamza under a bit of pressure. Flag has rightfully gone up. Just looking for the shorter option there, Farid. Didn't want to be drawn into just pumping the ball long and conceding possession. They're just trying to hold it and trying to build up play under pressure, and they've done really well once again. Can they advance it? Can they push it in behind this Albirex Niigata midfield? Or even their defense? Fatullah gets it into the box. Space opens up for Nishiguchi! Ryo Nishiguchi with his sixth goal of the season. Getting a bit of space on the edge of the box there. They worked this one really well, Tanjong Pagar United, down the right-hand side. It's Fatullah with that run from midfield, in behind the defense. And the composure that he shows there. Just to hang on to it. Seek out that little bit of space to have a shot at goal. First touch, perfect. Second one sets himself up for that pile driver past Koga. Against the run of play, Albirex have been the side that have controlled proceedings, have dominated possession of the ball, have looked the more dangerous of the two with the ball, but it's Tanjong Pagar United with their first real big opportunity of the match, and it's taken by Nishiguchi. Sixth goal of the season for Ryo Nishiguchi. Against this former side as well. Is another title winner in this Tanjong Pagar United squad. Picked up the SPL title with Albirex Niigata last season. He's played every minute for Tanjong Pagar United this year. He's got 5 goals for Albirex, so he's bettered his goal scoring record from last season. Space for Anaki to look for that big switch. Hashioka has got a tricky ball to deal with, and eventually he's forced to play it out under pressure from Nishiguchi. Great as well. You get the reaction from the supporters in the grounds here when Nishiguchi put that one away. Yeah, the Tanjong Pagar United fans just celebrating that goal. It has been a tough all season for them. really good work by Tanjong Pagar for that goal. In the build-up to it, Fatullah with that late run from midfield. It's gone straight out of play. An awkward restart there on that free kick. Zafan was looking to hit it into the body of Nishiguchi. Couldn't quite get his weight off the pass right on that occasion. And it's Albirex to give possession back to Tanjong Pagar. Tezuka just gives it away under pressure. And Tanjong Pagar United looking to finish this first half strongly. As Dalwinder pushes into midfield with the ball, plays it out to Rujaidi. Back to Faritz. Shake now. Spots the run from Nishikawa. Hashioka's there, first to the ball. Doing both sides of the game really well. Not just a threat in those attacking areas, but working hard defensively. You normally see situations where you've got your fullbacks bombing forward and there's space for the opposition to exploit in those wider areas. It's a credit to Albirex and their fullbacks that they get themselves back into those positions so quickly that you rarely see them concede opportunities on the counter-attack from those wider positions. Tezuka. See a minimum of 4 minutes to be added on at the end of this first half. We had a bit of a decent stoppage there for Zafan to go out and change his gloves. Chiku is closed down by Amri, but the referee decides that there was a foul there. I think he just wanted far too much time on the ball on that occasion, Chiku. It's a little bit too relaxed. Bit of frustration on the face of Karol Amri there. As he comes from the blind side here. Play restarted very quickly, and Mashita heads it straight into the arms of Zarfan. Just decides to take his time with this. There's no need to rush this for Tanjong Pagar. From their perspective, being a goal up here against the league leaders. Tanjong Pagar, remember, without a win in 17 league meetings with Albirex Niigata. And at the moment, it's looking really good. Like they could be creating a little bit of history here. As it stands, still plenty of football to go in that second half. We'll be expecting a big reaction from Albirex Niigata in the second 45. Remember, they can make changes here. Kuraba Kondo, who's left out the starting lineup, can come on and make a huge difference, a huge impact in those attacking positions. As we see Tokiwa just getting double teamed once again. Sanaki and Rujaidi. Rujaidi did really well just to hold him up, wait for that support from Anaki to arrive. Patient defending. There you go, he just holds him up, waits for that support to arrive, and then a strong challenge coming in from Anaki. Well, if you're Hasrin Jailani, you're absolutely delighted with the efforts of your team in this first half. Tokiwa. Ball just given back to Albirex by Faritz. And again, it's good strong play off the ball by Anaki just to win it back. Wins the free kick, and again they get to just slow it down, ease that pressure off the defense. Back to Zafan. Eating up these few seconds until the halftime whistle. It should be coming shortly. Just a reminder for you that as soon as the halftime whistle goes, we'll go for a quick break, come back with highlights from that first half. Perhaps the final opportunity of this first half for Albirex here is to get a free kick in a really good position, a high foot there. It's a replay of that high foot from Shake Hamza. Just looking to try and help Faritz out. Need to keep concentration here, flicked on at that near post by Kunimoto. And there you go, that's the halftime whistle. The end of an enthralling first half in which Albirex Niigata have dominated possession, perhaps created more of the opportunities, had openings themselves, but it's Tanjong Pagar United who go into the halftime break. A goal up, thanks to a goal scored by Ryo Nishiguchi. Got his 6th of the season there. Plenty of work to do. We're expecting a response from the White Swans in the second 45. We're going for a quick break, but we'll be back shortly with highlights of some action from that first half, so stick around. Welcome back to the Jurong East Stadium. It's halftime here between Albirex Niigata and Tanjong Pagar United. Let's have a look at some of the action from that opening 45 minutes. As Albirex has started off the game really well and looking for these quick switches out into those wider positions. That's where they got some joy here. Tokiwa putting in a delightful ball for Nagasawa to go and attack. Tanjong Pagar United, a defense holding firm there in that first half as Shaki Hamza comes across just to clear the danger. And this one, Zafan, who had a really good first half himself, had to keep his eyes on the ball all the way across as Chiku delivers it into the danger zone. It can be very tricky for goalkeepers to deal with as you've got runners in front of you in those positions. And then Hashioka out on his right-hand side looking to just try and get a goal for himself there. As he crashes a shot in towards the near post, which was palmed away by Zafan initially, and then he fell to Nicky Singh on the rebound. And the goalkeeper was there on hand, very quick to get back up on his feet, deny Albirex. So they had created opportunities in this opening 45, they just haven't been able to finish them off. And then here, Tanjong Pagar United with a bit of a sucker punch against the run of play. It's a delightful finish by Ryo Nishiguchi as he gets his 6th goal of the season. They're showing good composure in the box, an excellent assist by the young man Fatula, making that run in from midfield, linking up with the likes of Hanaki down that right-hand side. He has the presence of mind to deliver it into Nishiguchi. He keeps his composure, sets himself up really well with 2 touches, and then the finish past Koga. Albirex late on in that first half, looking for a response to flick on towards that near post just before the halftime break by Kunimoto. It's Tanjong Pagar United that go into halftime with that goal lead, and they'll be delighted with the performance. Let's have a look at some of the numbers from that first half then. As you can see there, Albirex Niigata with the majority of shots more on target as well, 4-2, 7-3 in terms of those shot totals. And when you think of chance quality as well, it was Albirex Niigata that created the better opportunities in that opening 45. But it doesn't matter. The most important stat at the end of that first half is that it's Tanjong Pagar United 1, Albirex Niigata 0. Let's see if the Jaguars can keep up their intensity in the second 45. We're expecting a big reaction from the league leaders. Albirex Niigata with an opportunity here to really get themselves clear and establish a lead in the SPL. Stick with us. We'll be back after a quick break. Welcome back to the Jurong East Stadium. It's the league leaders Albirex Niigata, a goal behind here to Tanjong Pagar United, the visiting side. Ryo Nishiguchi having scored in the 33rd minute of the match, giving Tanjong Pagar United the lead against a run of play. And now I've been fed a stat by Teng Kiat here, who works with the Football Association of Singapore, and it's a wonderful one. Starting from the 2018 SPL season, Albirex have trailed at half-time on 11 occasions, and they've only gone on to win on 4 occasions, including once this season, their last game. That was their last game against Hougang, as I mentioned. So let's see what sort of response they can muster up here. By the way, if you're tuning in here, make sure you log on to the Singapore Premier League website. It's spl.sg. It's got some fantastic content on there, wonderful statistics as well. Always up to date with previews of matches and reviews of the previous round of matches as well. Some fascinating stats available for you if you're into that sort of thing. spl.sg. Very simple, very easy to remember. I think we're about to see a couple of changes here for Albirex Niigata, and it's no real surprise as Kuraba Kondo is going to be one of those changes. And the first one who comes on actually is Mahiro Takahashi, the number 13. He's replacing Ong Yuen. It's 2 Singaporeans that will actually be coming off. Ong Yuen and Nicky Singh weren't the liveliest in that first half. Ong Yuen, as we saw it in that first half, was actually getting quite a bit of advice from his teammates about his positioning and things like that. So maybe something that they weren't quite happy with. Let's remember, still 2 very young, talented Singaporean players getting good first half of football under their belts here. Now, Kuraba Kondo, number 32, coming in. Keep an eye out on him. An incredibly talented player with the ball at his feet. Loves to take defenders on, the number 32. The ability to create chances for his side. Excellent pedigree. He's got 5 goals, 2 assists this season, Kondo. Former Cerezo Osaka under-23 player. And then the Japanese youth international at under-15 and under-16 level as well. And his favorite player is actually Yoichiro Kakitani, former Cerezo Osaka attacking midfielder or forward, now with Nagoya Grampus in the J-League. Kuraba Kondo certainly coming on with lots of pedigree to try and change the game for his side. Mentioned Mahiro Takahashi as well, a former Albirex under-18 player, number 13 coming on. Takahashi's minutes this season have been pretty limited, just 140 minutes played this season, Mahiro Takahashi. And it's an interesting one because he's a winger, a wide player. And his favorite player is actually Javier Mascherano. Make of that what you will. Anyway, back to the action as Chiku steps up to take this one. Yamashita flicks it into the danger zone. Side flag has just gone up there. A bit of a reprieve for Tanjong Pagar. Shuto had got his head on the end of that ball that was headed in by Yamashita. It's right there. It was Faric with the first header, and then Blake Rashuto to complete the clearance. Wouldn't have mattered anyway. Flag had gone up for offside. Tanjong Pagar United retain possession down this left-hand side here with a throw-in. Delwinder looked very steady in that first half for the Jaguars. A welcome return to the starting lineup for Delwinder. And by the looks of it, Rujaidi as well. One of the 3 changes that they made, Tanjong Pagar, to the starting lineup from that last game against Geylang International. Kuraba Kondo receives in space down this left-hand side. Skips it into Nagasawa, who's gone down. Well, just for that moment, I thought there might have been a question of whether that should have been a penalty, but it looks like the contact occurred just outside the box. Kondo already looking to make an impact immediately. This is Rushaidi comes across. Clever touch by Nagasawa just to get it away from the defender and invite that challenge. We saw saw Albirex really up the intensity and the tempo in the second half against Hougang, and it was something that Cheetahs couldn't deal with. Izuka coming on at halftime of that game and pushing Taniguchi forward really helped them out as well. And on this occasion, it's Kondo who comes on at halftime. You can already see the kind of player he is. Zips around in those forward positions. And defenders have got to be very careful around him. Chiku. I think he was just looking to try and get a goal for himself. Kosuke Chiku. Something he's spoken about in the build-up to this game as well, wanting to add onto those numbers. He's just got 1 goal and 1 assist so far this season. Former Urawa Reds under-15 player. Mashita wins it back nicely, and it's picked up by Taniguchi into Kondo. And they work it out onto this right-hand side. Takahashi. It's so important that they got onto that second ball there. It was Fatula. And the 18-year-old, number 51, Fatula Rahmat, hasn't let anyone down at all. He's been very impressive in central midfield for Tanjong Pagar. Picked up that assist for Nishiguchi in the first half. Shorai Nishikawa into Fatula, who plays a clever ball in behind to Amri. He's onside. That's a crunching challenge by Yamashita and a well-timed one. He just didn't have enough in the tank, Khairul Amri, to accelerate away. And find the back of the net there with the big opportunity for Tanjong Pagar United. He's got his knees up, he's huffing and puffing, just looking to try and hit that as it sits. Yamashita showing wonderful recovery pace to come across and clear the danger. Nishiguchi. It almost seems to have a bit of a free roll down that left-hand side. Nishiguchi. The shot from Del Winder is blocked, comes back out to Nishiguchi. And just pick it up in pockets of space where he's not really marked, and he can try and just create things for Tanjong Pagar off that left-hand side. Oh, lovely chest down by Rishuto. Just a bit too much on that for Amri to deal with initially. Naki with a strong challenge, and he's going to get himself a yellow card here. Don't think he can have too many complaints with that one, Anaki. Really late into that challenge with Nagasawa. Gotta say late, but actually maybe just a little bit too aggressive with that. Timing was okay. Just collided with Nagasawa, but I think there was a high foot in there as well and made contact with Nagasawa instead of the ball. Picked himself up a caution there. Too much force behind that foul. On this occasion, it's Shake who goes down on the contact from Taniguchi, and there's confirmation for you. Inaki is mid, picking up the yellow card there. 19 years old, Anaki. Former Home United and Lion City Sailors youth product. Rishuto heads that on into Amri. It's just good, strong centre forward play as he shrugs off the challenge of Yamashita. Nishiguchi. Got Amri in a bit of space in front of him, but decides to just recycle it into Fatula. Goes all the way back to Shake, who in turn gives it into Zarfan, who just launches it forward. And Rujaidi, I was just going to say, can he just keep it in play with that first touch? It's a little bit too heavy for him. It gives Tokiwa that opportunity to get on the ball. Well defended by Shake. He's having a much better game this time around than he did against Geylang the last time out. He spoke in the build-up as well about wanting to get that game out of his system. Speaking to Deepan Rajganison of the Straits Times in the build-up to this game as well. Just touched on the fact that perhaps that game against Geylang just came a little bit too early for him. Wasn't quite prepared for it. He's had a bit of a disruptive season as well. Issues off the pitch. Remember, he was in Malaysia with Perak and they had financial issues. There were players who weren't getting paid. A lot of upheaval then, having to move his family back to Singapore as well. Rishuto gets on the end of this one. Amri, nice touch. Back into Roshuto. It's well marshalled by Yamashita. He just guides it out of play. What a boost it is for Tanjong Pagar as well to have a player of Shakir Hamza's quality in their lineup. Been very successful. Well, especially in the Malaysia Super League, because it's actually picked up 2 FA Cups, one with Malaysian FA Cups, one with the Lions 12, another with Kedah, making the 2019 final of the Malaysia Cup as well. They lost out to JDT on that occasion. Yamashita. Chiku. Kondo gets it off Nagasawa. The two of them just looking to create all sorts of havoc down the left-hand side. Got enough numbers there on this occasion. Defensively, Tanjong Pagar. They will expect this. They will expect this pressure from Albirex and will start to build and build as league leaders look to try and make themselves a nuisance in the second half and try to get themselves back into this game. Still unbeaten this season. Look at the number 13. There's 13 matches unbeaten for Albirex Niigata. I'll tell you what, there's going to be lots of other teams as well, or players from the other teams looking at this game, hoping that Tanjong Pagar United can do them a favor as well. Try and take points away from Albirex. It's looking good at the moment. It's a bit of false hope perhaps when Hougang took that 1-0 lead at halftime in the game between those two sides. Let's see if Tanjong Pagar can see this one out and stay the course and give a bit of a boost to some of the other title challenges. Nishiguchi skips past the challenge of Takahashi. Tanjong Pagar United is having a bit more of the ball at the start of the second half. It's buoyed by a confidence boost of having gone into the break a goal up. Looking really good here. It's not just about sitting back, you know. They have created a couple of opportunities of their own, especially in that first half. That relationship between Rujaidi and Anaki down that right-hand side is causing all sorts of issues for Albirex. Amri with a bit of space to unleash. Unleash he does. It's gone straight out into the car park behind the stadium here. Someone out there is going to be going home with the select match ball. A high quality match ball as well. Players very fortunate to be given such a good ball to, such good football to play with. As we see another attack just snuffed out. Just making sure they're keeping up that defensive intensity, Tanjong Pagar. Zarfan look very steady. I think there's a bit of confusion there as Delwinder initially was given the go-ahead by the assistant referee to step forward and take the throw-in, and then Muhammad Taufik Tana, the main referee of the match, pulling rank there and saying, I'll tell you where you take the throw-in from. On we go. Shodai Nishikawa. Bit of contact there between him and Takahashi, and it eventually goes out of play for an Albirex throw-in. Chiku. Again, offside flag going up. A few of those in this game. And this is perfect for Tanjong Pagar United. All these stoppages in play. And yes, there's still a long way to go in the second half, but just these moments where they can just take their time a little bit, get a bit of a breather in, and also disrupt the rhythm of Albirex's passing game. It's exactly what you want to do in these situations. Beautiful ball into Amri. And he finds the back of the net. It's Koga with a big save. He's made a lot of those for Albirex this season, Koga. Well, I think Amri will feel that he really should have punished Albirex Niigata with that opportunity. These are the moments. That ball's played in by Rujaidi. That first touch just to get away from Yamashita. I think it takes a bit of a deflection of Yamashita that actually takes a sting out of that shot. But Koga, again, he just gets his positioning right, especially in that center of the goal with his technique of just making sure he closes off those angles and blocking shots that come his way. Made a couple of big saves against Haugang. Remember Doi having a couple of big opportunities straight down the middle. And Koga coming up big on all those occasions. There's a reason why he's one of those players leading the leagues in terms of saves as well. As I said at the start in the build-up, and so I've been saying this season, Albirex will give you opportunities. You can create chances against this Albirex Niigata side. It's just a matter of whether you can take them, whether you can finish them off, whether you can get it past Koga, who's been excellent for them in goal. Delwinder. Shikawa. Well, they just forced all the way back once again by Albirex pressing, and Zafan under pressure. Just anyway will do, and he's relying on his teammates to pick up those second balls there, just to help him out a little bit with that clearance. Shuto just dragging down Chiku on that occasion. Just that fight for that second ball is Chiku doing what you should be doing, protecting the ball by getting your body in the way there, in between the defender and the ball. Drawing that foul, drawing that free kick. Tanjong Pagar got a free kick to deal with here as it's drilled across. Headed back into the box, and again, another stoppage for a foul here. Headed on by Amri. He's picked up the second ball well here, Albirex. Time for Tokiwa now, just to get a hold of it. Haven't seen much of Tokiwa in the second half. The first half, he was always looking to get forward down that left-hand side. I guess in the second, he's got Kondo and Nagasawa in front of him, so he doesn't need to make too many runs into those forward positions, into those advanced areas down the left. This ball's played in for Nagasawa, dealt well by Faritz. They look for a big switch again, and another beautifully played diagonal right into the feet of Hashioka. drifts inside. Into Kondo. Pass almost cut out by Anaki. Gonna make you work very hard defensively, do this Albirex side and make you chase and run across and try and shuttle off across to shut down those spaces. Let's just have a look at this. This Hashioka, normally on the right-hand side, pops up on the left. And both the fullbacks dig in on the action. About to see a change for Tanjong Pagar United. Just get confirmation of that for you in just a bit. So we see Tezuka deliver corner into the box, and Safan has done well enough to get a fist to that, punch it away from the danger zone. It's Luis Jr. Looks ready to come on for the Jaguars. Will be replacing Khairul Amri. A good shift by the 36-year-old Singapore international Khairul Amri. Incredible experience and quality, and what a career he's had. Playing in Indonesia, in Malaysia. One of the things he's won in his career. Goes off for a bit of a rest, and on comes Luis Jr. On a hot streak for Tanjong Pagar United. He scored in each of his last 3 matches. He's got 8 goals for them this season. He was the top scorer last season with 7, so he's done 1 better already. Still plenty of time to go in this season for him to add on to that tally. And in that run, he scored in 3 consecutive games, helped Tanjong Pagar to 4 points in those matches. Draw against the Young Lions, famous win against Hougang, and then unfortunately came crashing down to that defeat against Geylang International. This offside flag goes up again. Start to get that sense of frustration perhaps creeping in, especially with the number of offsides we've seen from Albirex in the second half. And that's Luis Jr., who will pose a different sort of question to these Albirex defenders, a different sort of player in that playing profile, different kind of threat, and fresh legs coming on. The center of that attack as he looks to attack this corner that comes in. Or the cross that comes in. It was Koga again, Mr. Reliable. Just making sure he got his jump in there early. Read the cross, flight of the cross that was coming in, and used his arms to his advantage. Nagasawa. He's got Taniguchi ahead of him. Takahashi as well on the right. Nagasawa decides to ignore them both. It's played into Hashioka. Takes on Nishikawa. It's well defended by Shodai Nishikawa. Just stands him up. And then gets help from Rishuto, but it's made its way back into Hashioka. Chiku. Big switch from Yamashita. Tokiwa, first time ball back to Kondo. Decent phase of possession there for Albirex. Yeah, had to be patient there as Tanjong Pagar did really well defensively, especially on that left-hand side with Shodai Nishikawa being very patient in his defending, just holding up the attacker, holding up Hashioka, forcing him to turn backwards and away from goal. And then he got the help in the form of Rishuto and his midfielders tracking back to help out defensively. Albirex having to show that patience with that switch across to the far side. Intelligent first touch played into Kondo. Again, a difficult one to hit really first time for Kuraba Kondo. And just here the Tanjong Pagar players as well encouraging each other to make sure they keep their concentration levels up. talking to each other, making sure they're shifting across laterally. It's Farid Hamid showing all his experience. Just making sure he got himself into the right position, goal side on Nagasawa, and then reading that there was an opportunity for Albirex to play it into that space in behind the defense. Gave himself a bit of a head start and then got his body across. That back three has really held up very well. Farid, Shakir and Delwinder. As I said, lots of experience in that back line. Calls for second ball, and Shuto obliges picking up that second ball, and here he is again battling hard in center of the park alongside Fatula. Albirex finding a little bit of space here then with Nagasawa. Kondo looking to turn on a dime, but Rishuto's a little bit too clever for that. Junior. There's a chance now for Tanjong Pagar United to ease that pressure on their defense. Get themselves forward, and Luis Junior does really well to win a free kick in that situation. There was nothing going on for him. He only really had Ryo Nishiguchi to go for in the box there. Support was again starting to arrive. They were in a deeper position there, so it's always going to take a little bit of time for them to transition into those attacking moments. It's good centre forward play by Luis Junior. I mean, he's turned a nothing situation into potentially something for the Jaguars. Nishiguchi, Shake, Rishuto, Luis Junior in the box, not committing too many players forward. They've got this nice little square as well to protect on the counter, just in the center of the park. We've got Fatula and Anaki just sitting in front of Farid and Delwinder to protect themselves in case of a transition on the set piece. Beautifully played diagonal again. Just sounding like a broken record here with the number of diagonals that Albirex have played in this game. And they've all been of very good quality. Just the technique on those diagonal passes as well, the way players strike through the ball, driving the ball almost as if they're kind of shooting it into the teammates. Nice flat delivery. Which doesn't give time for the defense to just track across and move across laterally, because the ball moves so quickly when you're able to just drive it across like that. And referee blows for a cooling break here. Players go off. We saw one in the first half. We're going to see one here in the second half. And if they're taking the second half in stages here, Tanjong Pagar United, they look to regroup in this break. A few encouraging words amongst the players. Almost there. You just got to maintain your concentration now. Next 20 minutes or so. So far it's been looking good. Haven't really been breached defensively, which has been an issue for them this season. The goals that they've conceded, and let's remember again the meeting between these two sides. The first time these two teams met this season was a 6-0 win for Albirex Niigata. Sirboy scored a hat-trick in that game, and he's missing from the lineup, so perhaps the player that was in there causing them all sorts of torment is not around. It's given Tanjong Pagar a bit of a boost in this one. And it's taken away that cutting edge from Albirex Niigata. They've had to figure out a way to still be deadly in and around the penalty area to finish off opportunities. I've seen Sirboy on social media as well. He, over the last few days, has come back into training with Albirex. I think he's still involved in a bit of light training as the ball gets played across. Prosciutto. Just goes out of play. Just going back to Kiyoshiro Suboi. Encouraging signs that we're seeing. I think they can't wait to have him back. Remember, we thought it was a season-ending PCL injury, so it speaks a lot about the attitude and the character of the man to make himself available. Takahashi. Hashioka against Nishikawa. That's been an interesting battle. The 5 against the 15. Hashioka wins it that time. Delwinder is there. Just headed away from the 6-yard box. Goes down with a bit of cramp. He was struggling a little bit in that cooling break. As he went off, he was having a word with his coaching staff. Let's see if he'll be able to carry on and see this game out. Before Delwinder. And someone who's been involved in Singapore football for a long time now. I remember when he first started his senior career with Tanjong Pagar United. I think that was back in 2011. Here he is back with the Jaguars. Spells with likes of Geylang along the way. Also another one who had experience with Hougang Young Lions, Warriors FC. Tokiwa is able to just keep that one in play. Gives it back to Tezuka. Just played towards the back post and well defended by Shodai. Back to Hashioka. Doesn't quite get the shape that he would have liked on the cross that comes in, but it's played back out. That happens so quickly as well. Cross that's come in, it skids off Delwinder's shin, I think, initially with the clearance, and it was Tezuka that shot from the edge of the box. Takahashi in possession once again. Tanjong Pagar just starting to drop off a little bit more as the second half wears on. Tezuka. Just being forced back again. Tanjong Pagar looking to try and get themselves into a disciplined shape defensively, just sitting back in those deeper positions. Fatula being put under pressure, but he's done well to get it into Luis Junior. Good strong centre forward play by Junior. Holds it up, and that's what you need. That's what you need from your striker when you're under pressure. It's been a very good substitution to make. He just holds that one up, eases the pressure on his side, and able to just switch the angle of attack. And now it's Tanjong Pagar to have that opportunity to get themselves into an advanced position. Delwinder does look like he's struggling physically. He's done enough just to take that contact from Kondo. Yeah, there you go. Looking to stretch out those calves. He's feeling it in the hamstrings as well. Smile on his face there. Delwinder. Looks like he's done well to win a free kick. On back again by Delwinder. Well, the shape on that one as he hit that. Delwinder Singh. It would easily, if it ended up in the back of the net, would have easily been one of the contenders for goal of the season. I mean, hit with absolute conviction. Unfortunately, too much of that swing away from goal. Just Luis Junior, that occasion, perhaps a bit too physical, according to the referee anyway. Shots on target in this match. 4 for Albirex Niigata, 3 for Tanjong Pagar United. Nagasawa on the edge of the box. Hashioka. Oh, it's a delightful touch into Nagasawa from Kuraba Kondo. As the ball was given back into him by Hashioka, Kondo just with the deftest of touches. Again, it's the offside flag that's gone up. And this is where that mental strength has got to come in, that desire to see it across the line, see a result across the line, making sure you're keeping your concentration levels up. Experienced players making sure you're talking to each other out on that pitch. For Tanjong Pagar, it's been a difficult season for them in terms of the wins column. Only 2 so far, 4 draws, 7 defeats. A win here will get them back on level points with Geylang International, sitting in 5th on the table at the moment. Hashioka up against Shodai, skips past him again. Hashioka gets to the byline with the cutback. That's an incredible challenge defensively by Shake, putting his body on the line to deflect it away from goal. Back 3 have been so impressive for Tanjong Pagar, and once again coming up big. Make no mistake, this is a great opportunity for Kuraba Kondo, and you can see his frustration. Still having that opportunity blocked off by Shakir. The warning signs are there. They're turning the screws, upping the intensity, applying more of that pressure. The orange shirts looking for that equalizer! And they get it! From Shuya Yamashita. All that hard work from Tanjong Pagar United taken away in the blink of an eye. Shuya Yamashita comes up big again for Albirex from the set piece. Rises above the Jaguars' defense and gets Albirex back on level terms. His 3rd goal of the season. We were just talking about concentration levels and making sure you're keeping your discipline on that defensive front. What a big blow this is for Tanjong Pagar United. And Albirex, they smell blood here. There's a shove in the back, right in front of the referee. There's an arm in the back of Nagasawa. Happened right in front of the referee there. He decided that he wasn't going to give anything. It's another corner here for Tanjong Pagar to defend, and as far as heads it away, you can see that fatigue just creeping into the side. That shove in the back. Nagasawa from Rujaidi. I think he's gotten away with that one. Let's see if they've learned their lessons from the last corner that they conceded. Yamashita. It's confirmation that indeed he was the one that got his head on the end of that corner as Tezuka whips in another delightful ball. The quality on the set pieces have been so good from Albirex. There's just something about the technique in which they're able to deliver these passes, deliver these dead balls. Just look so at ease with their play. Takahiro Tezuka with that assist on that Yamashita equalizer. Tezuka picking up his 1st assist of the season. Got 4 goals for himself in number 3, including that winner against Hougang the last time out, and what a winner it was as well. Just when it looked like all the available angles to finish had been closed off. He improvises and picks one out in the top corner, chipping it past the goalkeeper. Anyway, back in the here and now. It's a mistaken net clearance by Farid, so he gets help in the form of Delwinder, who just hacks it away. Tezuka. Yeah, you can sense another goal here. They can sense a win, and they're going to keep going until that final whistle. Whenever it comes, Hashioka has gotten the better of Shorai Nishikawa on a couple of occasions on this right-hand side already in the second half. Kondo turns away from pressure. Back into Chiku, patient if they need to be. Kunimoto lifts it into the box, headed away strongly by Delvinder. Eventually able to clear the lines, but is it just going to come straight back in towards them? Or is Luis Jr. going to make something of this? Has an attempted goal! Oh, Luis Jr., you beauty! His 9th goal of the season. Yamashita makes that first mistake. Delhi's on the ball. Luis Jr. absolutely punishes Koga. Off his line, gets his head up. He doesn't even need to look, Luis Jr. He knows exactly where the goalkeeper is. He knows exactly what he's going to do when he gets on the ball. What a big impact he's made coming on for Tanjong Pagar United. Opening goal in the first half against the run of play. The go-ahead goal in the second against the run of play as well, but it's Albirex looking to find an equalizer with a quick response. Chiku! Bodies in the way on that occasion. Set up for a fantastic finish here at the Jurong East Stadium. Spoke about a Jurong East derby. Of course, the adoptive home of Tanjong Pagar United, the Jurong East Stadium. What a derby it's turning out to be. If you'll allow me to call it a derby. Tezuka whipped in, punched away by Zafan. Oh, they've looked under the cosh, under the pump, under so much pressure. The momentum of the game was going Alberex's way. The league leaders were looking the more likely to go on and get the goal that would give them the lead, as Kondo just takes the contact from Nishikushi. It's a push in the back there from the number 9. Still not over. Jaguars have got something to hold on to once again. Albirex must be thinking, what on earth have we got to do here to put these guys away? Chiku sends it in, headed away by Rishuto. He's put in a fantastic shift defensively in those midfield positions, along with Fatula. Deserves all the credit in the world. Fatula picking up an assist for himself. That opening goal for Tanjong Pagar, and just the work rate that he's put in, the young man in central midfield. Something for Tanjong Pagar to deal with, and they deal with it well. Rujaidi, you can just see how much that goal meant to Tanjong Pagar United, that Luis Jr. goal, and their players. You know, what a boost it's going to give them heading into the final few minutes of this match. It's a goal that's really come out of nothing, aside from simple ball played over the top. You expect Yamashita to be able to deal with that first time, or even on the second occasion, but Luis Jr., just with his tenacity and his willingness and his determination to want to make something happen for his side, and got his reward big time. Junior skips past that challenge. He's just going to hold it up. Lovely bit of footwork on the far side of the pitch. Oh, it's another intelligent ball played in behind, but Koga once again reads it very well. It's quick off his line. Kondo. And he conjure up a little bit of magic for his side. And they rescue a point here. Heavy favourites coming into this, but Tanjong Pagar have made them work. Hashioka on the left-hand side. Looking to lift it in towards the penalty area. Takahashi just loses out to Shodai Nishikawa. All that experience coming to the fore. Delwinder here just looking to kill as much time as he possibly can. Going for the water. He needs a drink there. Coaching staff of Albirex not quite happy with these tactics. That's what you're going to do, you know, in these situations. You're going to try and use a little bit of that gamesmanship, especially when you're up against the league leaders. Played into the channel for Taniguchi to chase. Oh, coming together between Shakir and Taniguchi. Coming off worse in that challenge is Ryoya Taniguchi. This gets played in behind by Chiku initially. Shakir Hamza does that recovery pace that he has. Strong, uncompromising challenges. Well, just seeing a picture there, Sharin just getting his instructions before he comes on, just to help shore things up at the back, to just try and see this result out for Tanjong Pagar. So close now. What a big win this is going to be, not just for the Jaguars, but for what it means in terms of the SPL title race as well. It was a chance for Albirex Niigata to apply that pressure on the Lion City Sailors. They're already 4 points clear coming into this match. We'll come back to it. So we just see the change that's going to be made here. Azanaki, another one who's put in a fantastic shift. Another young player. Has shown the right sort of attitude in this game. He's worked incredibly hard to help his side out. He goes off. He'll take a well-deserved rest as Sharin comes in. Let's have a look at where Sharin sets up here. Looks like he's just going to go across onto the right-hand side. Where Naki was positioned, but he's just going to sit in front of Rujaidi. You can understand at this moment they don't want to take any unnecessary risk. Now you just had that defiant roar coming from Delwinder. Game's not over, but he's already said, this is our game. Sense that confidence just flowing through the Jaguars players here. The last throw of the dice for Albirex. Taniguchi is replaced. Perhaps he couldn't recover from that injury in time. A little bit more serious than we thought. Sanada comes on for Taniguchi. Well, let me just go back to what it means for the SPL title race then. Albirex Niigata coming into this game, they were 4 points clear of the Lion City Sailors. And this was a big chance for them to add on to that, to go 7 clear. Of course, Lion City Sailors have got games in hand, but if you can get points on the board here, put the pressure on the sides chasing you. It's an opportunity missed. Still a little bit of time to go though. This will give the Lion City Sailors lots of encouragement in the title race. They are Albirex closest challengers. They will be playing against Balestier Khalsa this Sunday. Got Hougang United coming up against Young Lions tomorrow. Title race is truly alive and well, but it's down to Lion City Sailors, it's down to Hougang United, and perhaps even maybe Tampines Rovers, doing them a little bit of an injustice by counting them out of the race. They are, as things stand, they are 10 points behind Albirex Niigata. They too have games in hand to make up. It's a big boost to the top 4. The other side's in the top 4. Luis Jr. again applying pressure on Kunimoto. Could this be another one for Luis Jr.? Oh, it's come back off the post. Again, it's just that tenacity, that desire to want to make something happen. Yamashita on the first occasion, it's Kunimoto this time around. It just feels that pressure from Luis Jr. Lovely bit of invention. Gotta be clever with that finish. It would have been a perfect way to end this match and to seal the win for Tanjong Pagar United. They've played the minimum of those 3 minutes that were to be added on at the end of this match. Jaguars are so close to picking up their third win of the season here. And their first win against Albirex Niigata in Tanjong Pagar United's history in terms of league play. 17 league meetings between these two sides. Not one win, but they've got that win now against the Japanese side. You can see how much it means to these Tanjong Pagar United players. They'll win the Singh first onto his knees to celebrate across the park. A roar of delight from the number 4. What a huge win this is for the Jaguars, not just for them. It's a massive win for the rest of the teams involved in that title race. There's the man of the hour. Luis Jr., the man of the 45 minutes, I should say, coming into the second half and making a big impact for this Tanjong Pagar United side. Going on to win the game for them. Albirex Niigata will be wondering what else they could have done here. Created chance after chance, opportunity after opportunity, couldn't put those chances away. Tanjong Pagar United picking up their winner through Luis Jr. after taking the lead via Ryo Nishiguchi in the 33rd minute. Shuya Yamashita equalized for Albirex late on in the 80th, and it looked like the league leaders would then go on to win it. The momentum of the game was going their way. Instead, it was the Jaguars scoring against the run of play. And it's Albirex Niigata's first defeat of the season. Big celebrations for Tanjong Pagar United's players. Well, let's just have a reminder of the highlights of this match then. And what a wonderful ending to this match that we had. Albirex Niigata starting off the match with a very high tempo, creating plenty of opportunities. Hashioka there with a shot towards the near post. Zafan, to his credit, was very stable for Tanjong Pagar in goal all match. And then Fatullah here with the assist for Nishiguchi, picking up his 6th goal of the season, showing fantastic composure. It was good work by Rujaidi and Anaki down that right-hand side before Fatullah made the assist for Nishiguchi to drive that one home. Didn't look dangerous up until that point, Tanjong Pagar United. They had to wait, they had to be patient with their opportunities. But they found the breakthrough, and then the onus was on Albirex to try and open up and find an equalizer and get themselves back into the game. And Cairo Lamri could have perhaps finished things off there. But Yamashita with an incredible recovery and a sliding challenge just to come across. And then Amri with another opportunity just as the game got stretched. But then the warning signs were there. Albirex were pushing and pushing, increasing the tempo, increasing the pressure. And then Yamashita, unmarked, just gets in ahead of Blake Rashuto there to head it home for the equalizer. And then you started to feel that momentum going Alberex's way up until this point. I'm just going to shut up here and let you appreciate this goal. Incredible quality by Luis Jr. And again, it's just his desire to make something happen. A game-changing substitution. Luis Jr. picking up his 9th goal of the season. That's just brilliant invention and quality. Doesn't even need to look at where Koga is. He knows exactly what he's going to do once he gets on the ball. And then an opportunity late on as well. On this occasion, it was Kunimoto who felt that pressure of Luis Jr. And then have a look at this one. Cheekily tries to lift it over Koga, which he does. And he just can't find the back of the net this time around. Turns out it wouldn't matter. Tanjong Pagar United have picked up a famous win here. Their first win against Albirex Niigata. Let's just have a look at the stats that have come up here on full time. 14 shots for Albirex Niigata up against Tanjong Pagar United's 8. 5 shots on target there, but you do have to say Albirex perhaps created the better opportunities, at least in that first half. In the second half, Tanjong Pagar, with those opportunities from Khairul Amri, could have killed the game off. 9 corners to nothing, 7 offsides to 3. But the most important result is Tanjong Pagar United 2, Albirex Niigata 1. And this is what it means for the table. Albirex Niigata unable to pull themselves clear, even further clear of Lion City Sailors. Still stays at 4 points there, the difference between those two sides. Albirex Niigata's first defeat of the season. Tanjong Pagar United, 14 matches played, picking up their 3rd win of the season, go on to level points with Geylang International in 5th. Let's have a look then at what's coming up over the weekend in the Singapore Premier League. And on Saturday, we've got Hougang United going over to the Jalan Besar Stadium to take on the Young Lions, who were very impressive against Balestier Khalsa the last time out. Picked up a win in that match, their first win of the season. We'll see if they can continue on that momentum against the Cheetahs of Hougang. And then Balestier Khalsa against Lion City Sailors. What an opportunity this is for the Lion City Sailors to close that gap at the top of the table. They'll be raring to go, and you expect the Sailors to win that one. Well, I hope you've enjoyed our coverage here of this game between Albirex Niigata and Tanjong Pagar United. It's the Jaguars that come up with a huge win here against the league leaders, and it throws things open in terms of the title race as well. Thanks for joining us. It's good night from the Jurong East Stadium.